So we had a little bit of a lazy morning here. It was raining anyways when we got up, so I had a guy ask me to film the different crops we grow, because he doesn't know what he's looking at when he's driving around. So we're gonna head out now and look at a few of the different crops that we grow. So people that don't know what's out there, maybe they'll be able to tell. Okay, so first off, this is a field I sprayed a few days ago that we knew it was basically a write-off, but it was supposed to be a pea field, and it was all it's all supposed to look like this. So this is a fairly healthy pea plant right here. Each one of these is called a node. This one's going to start to flower soon, but like this stuff won't get much taller, and as you can see, it's not like some of this stuff might even we might not be able to even harvest it. So we're gonna see. We're gonna leave it for another, leave it for another few weeks. I mean, it's in the ground now, so we'll but yeah, that's what peas look like. Unfortunately, this is not a good field to doesn't do it justice. There are some good pea fields around, but when you're looking from the road, if you see a bunch of these plants, those are peas. So we stopped at this one. This is a barley field, and this one's in particularly neat. I did a test here. Everyone was always telling me you can't seed desiccated grain that was desiccated in the fall. It won't grow, won't germ, won't. Everybody had ideas of what may or may not happen, and I had never tried it. So this year I thought, well, I'll just give it a whirl. We actually this side over here was all undesiccated seed, and then over on the other side I had ran out of seed right at this point. So I thought, whatever, we'll just clean up a little bit of this of this feed barley that we had desiccated from a year or two ago, and we'll just give it a go. It did have a good germ when we germed it. So, and as you can see, there's hardly a difference. It's just the same height, and it's headed out at the same time, and so I'm not sure if there will be a impact on the yield. That would, but I left a strip here so I can. Once we bring the combine out, I'll be able to tell if there's a yield impact from desiccating or not. So stay tuned for that, those of you who are interested in seeing the difference between undesiccated and desiccated seed. So this one is oats. This is a little bit later field that we seeded. So it definitely took a beating from the rain. It was just too wasn't tall enough when the rain come, but it's starting to head out here, I guess. So that's oats have such a massive leaf, like massively wide. They're I like growing oats. They're fun to harvest. So that's what that one is. Oats are a little greener than the barley from the road, so almost the same as wheat, maybe a little lighter than wheat. But yeah, that's once it heads out a little better, then I'll come back and get a picture of that. Okay, so this one should be pretty easy for everyone, farmers or not. This is a canola field, and probably one of our better fields this year. We're not big canola growers. We seem to be struggling trying to grow it the last few years. So we thought we'd give it another go. I upgraded my seed drill a little bit to some newer technology, so we thought, well, we'll do that, and we'll give it another try. And yeah, I mean, we're very very happy with this one so far. It's a little late for sure. It started flowering about a week later than we would have liked, because you want it to flower for as long as possible before you start to swath it. they say the longer it flowers, the more yield you'll get out of it. But we're very happy with the way it's coming so far. Aside from being, probably a week behind. So it one thing, yeah, about that drill is it's a precision drill. So you really get, put this down here, you really get nice, nice uniform rows. It's quite, I don't know, it's crazy to look at. Like everything's a exact clone of the one next to it. So it looks pretty cool. So I stopped here. This is a half section that we own. It's gonna be cool for this, crop comparison crop tour that I'm doing here right now. So I ran out of seed. I bought some seed from Harris's in Beaver Lodge there, some new wheat seed, and I thought I bought enough for I guess I did. But I started seeding on another quarter, and then this is a whole half. So I ran out. Like I bought enough for 2 quarters, so I ran out. So no problem. I switched to barley. You can spray the same chemical on both, so easy for spraying time. But so yeah, here's a cool side by side of what the heck is this thing? Straight wheat. So yeah, there's barley is over here on this side, and then the wheat is over here on the other side. So you can see wheat is darker green for sure, and normally a few inches taller. I don't know if there's some, there's tons of different varieties of barley and wheat. Yeah, that's a cool comparison side by side there of the wheat on the south side, and then the barley there on the north side. Both of which are coming pretty good. We had really a good kill this year with the sprayer. Fortunately, it's nice to have your family involved. I wanted to get out there and spray a week before. My wife, my dad, my mom, they said, well, that's too early, don't go. So I listened to them, and they were right. We waited that extra week, and for once, the last few years we've been hit or miss with the chemical. We haven't killed what we wanted to, and that's quite an expensive endeavor to spray everything and not have it work out. So yeah, this year we were really happy with the way that all went. Another canola field. This is Roundup Ready canola. I think we've probably given up on Roundup Ready on our farm. It just that other field was Liberty, and the Roundup just seems to underperform. When I came out and sprayed this, it was just a disaster. I didn't film it. It was terrible. The crop wasn't coming. Huge patches of no canola at all. So I went home. I was frustrated. I told my wife, I said, I don't even think it's worth it. We'll take the disc and we'll disc it up, right? Instead of letting the a terrible crop come and suck the nutrients out of the ground, we'll just work it up. And so my wife came out and my dad, and they were looking, and they said, no, leave it. And well, I guess they were right again. It's definitely thinner, but I mean we've had worse looking canola in the past, so it's definitely wouldn't have been the right idea to work it up.